Welcome back to Crusader Kings 3. Today we're going to be carrying on our Kingdom of Ireland playthrough, and I'm going to take a little bit of a look at religion here, because the plan was, once we had a king who was good at learning, I was going to reform insularism, because we need it in order to adopt feudal ways here, I believe. If we go ahead and look at the... we're already an organized faith. All we actually need is to have absolute tribal authority and research some more innovations. Okay, but I still want to reform the religion here, kind of to symbolize a united Ireland, because we have insularism, but we don't have Irish insularism, and I think that name would actually make sense. So let's go ahead and look at our religion here, because we do have 2,500 of faith, piety, sorry, and we're doing quite well. Now, if I would reform a religion, I don't think I would want to stray too far. In fact, already this is very expensive. We don't need to do the name just yet. The main thing I would want to change is views on gender. I would want to make this equal, but already we can see that's going to cost a lot of piety. So maybe we still do hold off, because we can't do it right now anyway. So we're probably going to have to hold off just a little bit longer until we do that. But what should we do in this episode? Let's see, we're currently building in Dublin. We could go ahead and get... we can't get absolute tribal authority until 931, so another 5 years on that one. So let's go ahead and unpause and see what's happening here. Faction created against us. We also have some ransoms that have been accepted as well. Let's see, who's leading this faction? Wants to destroy the realm of their liege. Ah, great, it's this guy here. Now, he did convert to insularism. However, he's already being a pain. That's why we were trying to sway him. It would be nice if we could give the Kingdom of Wales to someone. However, I'd rather it go to my second son, in all honesty. Let's see, we do have a new perk though. We already have Diplomat. We could get Praetorian Guard. Monthly prestige per night plus 2%. Let's go ahead and get that. What is my son? What education focus is he? He's a tactician. We're going to need a leader at some point who is basically focused on piety. In fact, what we could do... This character already has a lot piety. We can go on a pilgrimage. When does this become available again? 927. So next year we can go on another pilgrimage, and that should help our piety generation. So maybe that's something we look at. What else is happening? Additional taxes, you gain 90 gold. Very nice. We are building up quite the bank of gold here as well. Now we could further try and kick the Danelaw out of the British Isles. However, we have a truce with them, so I think now is just a moment of peace. In fact, should we hold a feast to celebrate this peaceful time? I think we should. Let's go ahead and host a feast here. You start a feast in Dublin, you may increase your vassals' opinion of you, and we lose 48 stress because we are generous, and we are very stressed. So let's go ahead and send the invitations there and celebrate a peaceful time now that Wales has been reclaimed by the Welsh. A cheery gathering. The guests are gathered in a great hall, lords and ladies from the near and far reaches of the realm. The mood is bright and spirits are high as the feast begins. Welcome, friends. And one thing, there is a feast button there. Yeah, I can't begin to say how many hours I didn't realize this button was a thing. But actually, a lot of people attending the feast here, including Duke Tyke, who is currently trying to start an uprising. So maybe he can gain some relations with us there. That would be nice. But the feast has mutual spirits. What started as an ordinary feast became an exceptional one, thanks to the presence of High Chieftain Failchad. Ah, that's good. We spoke all evening about all manner of subjects, and as things would have it, we seem to have a lot in common. I had such a good time with him. What a good evening. So we go closer to forming a friendship with our Chancellor there, and he does gain 15 opinion of us for 10 years, so that's nice. Although I would really like Duke Tyke to hopefully be entertained and like me a little bit more here. Oh no, my Chancellor, what's happening here? I did everything I could, ensuring that High Chiefess Cact and High Chieftain Failchad would be as far from each other as possible. It was not enough, and now they have come to blows in the middle of my feast. Oh dear. One of my guards is close to the brawl and looks to me for the order to intervene. Let's see, we do have a diplomatic option here, and considering we are very much a diplomatic character here, with 25 diplomacy, I think we should take it. Halt, we will talk about this later, and we gain 150 prestige, and we do manage to prevent a fight here during a feast. A feast should be a time of celebration and eating good food, not fighting. Now, we might even become exalted among men. How old are we? We're currently 47, so it's a possibility. Which would be cool because we could get an invade kingdom war then. We're in line to inherit some titles. Prisoners can be ransomed. No. We can create the Duchy of Deheubarth. Let me guess, that's in Wales? Yes, it is. There we go. To be fair, I can't pronounce Irish or Welsh names, so it was a 50-50. As my guests depart, with all my guests having done fighting for the last of my meagre table scraps, it gives me great relief to watch them finally leave with loose clothing and growing bellies. Now see, that's what a feast should be. I have my wife Grain to thank for much of its success, and I feel nothing but gratitude as she sees the last few guests off. Until next time. So we gain 90 prestige, and every guest gains 20 opinion of us for 10 years, and the feast does end. So we go ahead and take a look at Duke Tyke here. He still hates us, but he hates us slightly less. Now we could also go on a hunt. I think we should go on a hunt, and then we should hold court when we return. Nothing like a good hunt after a feast. And we do lose more stress because we are generous. Let's go ahead and sound the horn here. Go on a hunt and see what can happen. Where are we going on a hunt to? Down in Ormond. There we go. I always find this is quite cool that they add these icons, although they're quite hidden because I always play zoomed out. But it's nice to know that these little details are actually in the game. The stag. My vassal High Chiefess Cact is the first to see it. The majestic stag is hard to distinguish from its surroundings, but it is observing us through the undergrowth. I lock eyes with the animal and it is almost as if it can sense my intention, for it suddenly takes off. Should we go and hunt it? It would be a good sign and a good symbol, right? Let's go. We ride. We gain 75 prestige, and hopefully we ride after it. We have levy desertions for 5 years. Levy side minus 5% because of my marshal's poor martial skill. Yeah, my son still has much to learn. That's a shame. Household savings, but we do gain another 50 gold thanks to my wife. So that's looking good. Gaining a lot of gold. And speaking of religion reformation here, the Donyi Poloist Reformation. That's probably not how you say it. High Chieftain Chimmy, a prominent figure against Donyi Polo, Omer has gathered every Abu in the land together to discuss their beliefs and establish an official doctrine for the pagan faith. These Donyi Poloist Abus are encouraging cooperation and tolerance. See, I can get behind that, although we're not going to convert to it, of course, but I think they have a good foundation there. Even towards non-believers, and have requested the aid of the spirits to help guide the faithful through these turbulent times. The bargaining movement has decided not to instate a religious head, preferring instead to let each Abu determine what teachings are appropriate for their own ganging. Oh gosh, they're already starting gangs in 927. Do you know what? I think that sounds like a nice religion. We're not going to convert to it because I don't believe they're part of Christianity at all, right? No, they're Tanny. Tanism. Okay. But that does sound like an interesting religion there. It does not matter what these heathens believe. There we go. So already we're seeing some reformations in our world here. Hopefully we can reform insularism at some point in our save. But first, we have a new stage in the hunt. We follow the stag on its flight through a ravine, and suddenly High Chieftain Cact's horse loses its footing and sends her to the ground screaming. It is nothing fateful, but the High Chiefess is twisting in pain. I just realised, you're probably one of the first chieftesses of Ireland. So let's see, it's not fatal. We could give her time to recover, or we could press on. You know, I do care for the vassals of my realm, and I don't think a stag is worth more. We must give her time to recover. She is wounded, and a vassal's life is much more important than that of a stag. So let's go ahead and give her some time to recover here. 2 people die in my dungeons. That's no big loss there. Making more room for future Norse prisoners, I imagine. I think that might be the hunt over. Ah, no, the hunt is still carrying on. There we go. I know that it is a killing shot before the arrow even finds its target. As the stag stumbles and falls, we drown out its wails with shouts of victory. A good kill. There we go. And a good chase. No immediate effects there, but we did manage to catch and kill the stag, so that's nice. A ransom has been received. Who is this guy? You are Catholic Franconian. Ah, maybe I haven't sorted through my dungeons, because I don't actually know why you're in my dungeons. Would you let him go for me? Yes. 10 gold. You can have your Franconian husband back. I'm not actually quite sure how he got there. Let's go ahead and check our prisoners. In the dungeon. So these guys are all in the dungeon. So I assume I filtered through them. Maybe we just missed a guy from the previous war. So let's go ahead and close that one up. Hopefully we get a trophy or something from the hunt. There we go. Returning from the wild. The hunt is drawing to an end. We mount our horses to leave the plains behind as the servants prepare the stag and other game for the journey back. In spite of our difficulties along the way, the hunt went very well. We return home reinvigorated. English is hard. We gain 150 prestige. And the hunt does end. No trophy, but we are reinvigorated, so that's good there. And now what we can do, because we've celebrated with a feast. We've been on a mighty hunt here. Let's go ahead and hold court. Finally do some politics. We're refreshed, and we're ready to face the people of our realm here. In order to be a successful ruler, I must actually rule on the various dilemmas and situations which arise within my sphere of influence. By officially inviting all of my subjects to travel my castle and petition me for aid, I will be able to stay informed, sway the balance of power, and visibly show the world that I am in charge. And we are ready to do this now, so let's go ahead and hear our first petitioner. Sitting on my throne, I gesture for my guards to open the doors of the hall. A stream of people file in, some lining up in front of the throne, while others move out of the way so they can simply observe the proceedings. After several moments, all movement in the chamber has ceased. All faces turned towards mine expectantly. In front of me, I count 3 petitioners lined up in an orderly row, waiting for me to call on them. Let's go ahead and gesture for the first in line to approach. My heralds announced the arrival of a neighbourly petty ruler, Lord Rodri of Brycheiniog. That's in Wales. I do know that. There we go. We actually wanted to make him our vassal. He enters your halls with dignity and bows deeply. Your Grace, I have come to humbly pledge my realm to you if you would accept my terms. Ah, this is good. I will serve you as a faithful vassal lord of Ireland in exchange for your protection. May our 2 great houses both prosper by the arrangement. In fact, we did want to vassalize him in the last episode, so I will go ahead and accept Lord Rodri into our realm here. So as you see, he does become our vassal. He gets 10 opinion of us, but its contract does start with low taxes and low levy contribution. That should be fine. We can raise that with time. But let's go ahead and accept. That's our first political bout done for the day there. My lord, my Stuart Duke Les takes the floor. I have an idea to improve taxation. You could send surveyors to question your subjects about every property, its name, owner, extension, and value, and how many people and animals live there. But numbers are boring, complains my champion, male Corgus. Wait, you're my court jester and champion? It just gets better. I love this guy. Let's dance instead. No, this is actually... Okay, I'm all for banter, but this is actually a very important thing, because it concerns the realm's treasury. Very well, proceed with the survey. We'll lose 75 gold. But he gains 20 opinion of us, and maybe we get some extra events here. The survey begins. It will take some months to complete. Very well, proceed with the survey. There we go. We have to invest money to make sure that the realm will make money going forwards. Archbishop Kwan steps forward solemnly. My lord, Oriel is a vital centre of insular pilgrimage and worship. His Holiness Pope Callistus II agrees that such a holy place should be wholly administered by clergy rather than laymen. High Chieftain Joshua must relinquish his property into Abbot Concogabar's care For the good of the faith and the glory of God. But I can't click and see this, can I? Now this could be a problem because we are a religious man here. And I really wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of the Pope. Oriel should be in the hands of the priors. You will become the owner of the Holy Nail. Piety, court grandeur. Oh, wow. We gain some piety. Joshua loses 20 opinion of us. We give the earldom of Oriel to the faith here. Quan gains opinion. Pope gains opinion of us. Let's see. Do the scriptures require this? We could do a learning challenge. And there's a 68% that our arguments are unconvincing. Let's see. Oriel should be in the hands of the priors. I do believe that's the right choice there. So let's go ahead and pick that one. That is going to be the conclusion there. As the last petitioner departs, various courtiers follow him out of the room, having business to attend elsewhere. Others remain, talking amongst themselves about the recent proceedings. Soon the ceremonial formality of the proceedings has dropped away entirely, with the hum and bustle of normal courtly life taking its place. My business here is done. Indeed it is. Now we do have an extra court artifact apparently. The Holy Nail. So, an elegant reliquary containing a holy relic. A nail from Jesus' cross. Wow. Okay. We get plus 0.5 piety a month. Court grandeur bonus +1. Temple holdings. Building construction cost -1%. And temple holding construction cost -1%. That is immense. We have a cross from a nail from Jesus' cross. Let's go ahead and put that on show in our court. Definitely show that we are a kingdom of faith here by having such a relic trusted to us. And we do have a new alliance with Duke Magnus of the Northman army because he is now a ruler. Where is this? This is all the way over here. Okay. They went on a conquest and now we are allies. There we go, I just had to grab a drink. You probably noticed a lot of editing in this video. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to have to edit out here and there when I have to take a break. What about this guy? He's Welsh Norse. We can't offer him vassalage. Wait, who were your parents? You don't have any parents? How have you come to exist? Okay, no idea how he has come in to exist here, but we will want to take Gwent eventually, and then we would have all of the de jure lands of the Kingdom of Wales under our control. England is also looking a bit better. Lancaster as independent, but I assume they'll be gobbled up by England eventually. We still need to solve the problem of the Danelaw and Alba and the Isles. Probably nothing's going to happen there because we do have... We have an alliance. I do remember it, but only partially, how we got that alliance. So let's go ahead and unpause the game and see what kind of proceedings we can get here. Our second son is 12 as well, so he's slowly growing up. Now, I'm quite unsure where we want to go from here. When we do eventually die, of course, we're going to... Wales will become independent, but our dynasty will still control it, which is nice. We do manage to sway Duke Tyke here. He's still at negative relation, but it is slowly getting better. However, a faction targeting us has disbanded. So we swayed Tyke there enough just so that he decides he doesn't want to rebel against the King of Ireland. Probably the smarter decision he's made there. Greetings, my charming liege. I have arrived in Dublin to pay homage to you, glorious High King, as a show of my loyalty. Who are you? My steward, vassal, and champion, Duke Les of Gwynedd. Ah, this guy. I do remember you. My bad. I hope my pledge of submission alone is evidence enough of my honour. Show Duke Les in at once, of course. He's converted to insularism. We rewarded him with lands and a royal marriage, and now he is pledging his loyalty to us. I think that's a very good decision there for us. Take him the knee. I wait patiently on my throne for the arrival of Duke Les, who was soon announced and ushered before me. He kneels in deference, offering nothing but his oath to faithfully serve as a vassal of the kingdom. At last I bid the Duke arise, confirming my satisfaction and Les's rights to the lands he rules in my stead. Serve me well, Duke Les. So we gain... No, Duke Les gains 75 prestige. We gain some court grandeur. We gain prestige as well. And our dynasty also gains 25 renown. That's looking good. How long before we... We still need another 740 points before we reach the next level of splendor. What about legacies? Next dynasty legacy. Oh, we're still quite far away from that. We need 1250 renown here. That's fine. We're slowly building it up. When we have a King of Wales as well, that should add to the points that we generate. We look here. We currently have +1 for a king. We also have a duke in our dynasty. King by marriage. 1 count by marriage as well. We're actually doing okay here. A lesson in charity. There we go. Speaking of my second son, there is Failchad. Kwan brought my son Failchad to the market today. Failchad was to hand out alms to the poor and needy, to learn about charity and a ruler's plight to the less fortunate. The serene child gave something to everyone, Kwan says, and when the purse ran dry, he insisted that we'd go get another. Very selfless, maybe even excessively so. It seems that little Failchad has a very big heart. Of course, we only have one option to pick here. It is our plight to give as much as we are able. Failchad keeps the trait generous, and it is virtuous. So let's go ahead and pick that one. There we go. Nice to see my son is being raised correctly. Now, we can go ahead on a pilgrimage here. So let's go ahead and prepare for the journey. And let's see, it is time for me to set out on my journey to one of the holy places, but which one? Which one's... Oh, 175. We could go all the way to Jerusalem. You start a pilgrimage in Jerusalem. This is an exceptionally long pilgrimage. Let's go ahead and pick that one. And I'm going to pause the game as well. As I prepare for my journey, I know that I will travel safely under the protection of God. I will be gone for a long time, and I can only pray the Lord watches over my realm as well. It is time to depart. So let's go ahead and pause the game. Of course, we're over here in Dublin, and we've got to go all the way down here. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's somewhere. I believe it's over here, right? Jerusalem, there we go. So that's a very, very long way to travel, especially in 927. That's actually insane. Let's go ahead and unpause. Hopefully we make a safe travel or a safe journey here. We do have an event in our court. Royal Lapse. Let's see what's happening here. The pageantry of court continues day after day from dawn to dusk. Jat Fuawawa, my champion. Insular Norse, eh? Extemporizes on my greatness, spouting platitudes and praises. Nearby, Duke Les joins in, playing to the crowd, grinning stupidly, and expecting a sign of my favour for his antiques. A deep, insistent desire to unburden myself of guilt. At the arms house slowly builds, gnawing at my mind and distracting my attention. A lone bead of sweat trickles interminably down my brow. Jatvar notices my distance, inquiring, "Are you right, my lord?" with almost genuine concern. Interesting event. Pull yourself together, you're on a high key. My apologies, you were saying we gained 20 stress. Okay, we'll let them continue on. There we go. Not quite sure what's happening there. That's a bit of a weird event. I haven't had something like that before. Just very random, out of the blue. No real serious drama either. Now, I do wonder, can we click on this holy event? On this pilgrimage? But first, we have reflections. Out here late at night, I sometimes look to the stars and wonder, can God even see me this far from home? What am I doing all of this for? Now, this one does relieve stress. What I truly want is to see foreign lands. A pilgrimage has taught this character much about the world. We would get +2 diplomacy. Could get dedicated pilgrim. Monthly piety could be good. God would wish me to, of course. This is all for the sake of appearances. What I truly want is to see foreign lands. Let's go ahead and pick that one. There we go. The Day of Truth. Survey completed. Ah, this is the survey we paid for. It is done, my lord, states my steward. Duke Les as he bows in front of me. Several months ago you commissioned a survey of all of your lands. Now it is completed, and details on ownership and land value are all collected in this book. As long as this description is faithful to reality, your taxation will be more efficient throughout your realm. So we get Steward Land Survey for 30 years. Vassal tax contribution plus 5%. Very nice. Excellent job, Les. Excellent job indeed. I want to see if I can click on... is the pilgrimage already over? It might be, you know. I think it's already ended. Okay, that was a very short one. Usually I get a lot more pop-ups. Oh no, we still are on a pilgrimage, and it looks like we picked up a sickness. Oh no. It seems I have not taken well at all to this travel. Perhaps it is the strange lands filled with an unfamiliar air. Or perhaps my furs are not warm enough. Either way, my cough has been persistent for weeks, and this morning I could barely muster the strength to get out of bed. Do I even have the strength to continue onwards? This is no time to give up. I do believe this is not a time to give up. Let's press on. We are on a holy journey here, and I do have faith in God, and that he will guide us to the holy site of Jerusalem. Let's see what happens here. The arrival. There we go. We finally arrived. I am finally here, body and soul, at the great Abbey of Jerusalem. As the abbot offers me blessings, I reflect on everything that had to happen for God to bring me here, at this moment in time. I have walked the holy path, 875 piety. That's impressive. We might even have enough to reform our religion now. War has been declared. Vote. To the benevolent High King Fairchild of Ireland, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. It seems that there is no recourse for our dispute other than to settle it on the battlefield. Northman Army conquest of High Chieftain of Munster. I thought we were friends with the Northman Army. I think this is a new Northman Army. Well, let's go ahead and rally the troops. And I think that is a good place to end the episode. Next episode, we're going to try and fight off this Northman Army. And we're also going to go ahead and look at reforming insularism, because we do have 3,700 piety now, which is quite impressive. So that's it for today. I will be back on Monday with another Crusader Kings 3 video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you then.